Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Third Inning Podcast. I'm your host, Izzy Rain, and before we dive into our subjects of the week, you can see on the screen there is a picture of a blue t-shirt. That is my merchandise. You can see the front has a baseball on it, and the back says the Third Inning Podcast with the YouTube play button. I'm wearing one right now, so we made them in the colors of the podcast. I may do different colors in the future. I may do different styles. But if you want this t-shirt, message me on my Twitter, which is going to be down below in the pinned comment. Just tweet me saying, hey, I would like one of your shirts. And then I will message you in the DMs and it will all go down there. They're $20 and that is including shipping. And I'm only shipping within the United States for right now. Maybe later we will expand to other countries, but right now we're just doing the US. So that is my merchandise. So I just wanted to talk about that first. As this is probably going to be our last podcast for 8 weeks. Crazy, I know, but baseball is gone. Yeah, so I'm going to read y'all the statement that came out last week and then the statement that came out today. So all sports are not happening, so don't think baseball's the only one. It is all sports. So we're going over to MLB. This is from MLB themselves, so yeah. So this was on March 12th, so 4 days ago. So Major League Baseball to delay the 2020 opening day by at least 2 weeks. Spring training canceled as of 4 p.m. East Coast time today. And WBCQ games postponed. I don't know, is that World Baseball Classic qualifying? I think. MLB will continue to evaluate ongoing events and effects on the 2020 schedule. So it's all that. There's like 3 more paragraphs, but that's basically what happened. And then I have a scam calling from Columbus, MS. Is that Mississippi? Missouri, I don't know, but we're declining because I do not know anybody there. So 57 minutes ago, I'm filming this at 3:11, so this is on March 16th, 2020. So this is for immediate release from the commissioner himself. Today, Commissioner Robert D. Manfred Boo Jr. Conducted a conference call with the 30 clubs of Major League Baseball following last night's newly updated recommendation from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, restricting events of more than 50 people for the next 8 weeks. The opening of the 2020 regular season will be pushed back in accordance with that guidance. MLB will keep fans updated on the decisions regarding plans for the 2020 schedule in the days and weeks ahead. The clubs remain committed to playing as many games as possible when the season begins. We will continue to monitor ongoing events and undertake the precautions and best practices recommended by public health experts and urge all baseball fans to follow suit. MLB extends its best wishes to all the individuals and communities who have been impacted by the coronavirus, and I do as well. But 8 weeks, I don't even know when 8 weeks is. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that gets us to like the first week of May 4th or May 3rd to the 9th, if we want to go by the way Apple calendars does. So I've even seen maybe bring spring training back then and start the season in late July. That's one rumor. If it started on my birthday, that would be really cool. But I don't want to wait till late July, obviously, for baseball to come back, because it is my favorite sport. And this number did leave me a voicemail, but I'm not going to play it because I don't know what it's going to say. But that is, we wanted to get that elephant out of the room and go into what I had originally planned to talk about on this podcast before the coronavirus came to the United States. No, I knew it was going to come to America, but I didn't know what extent, I guess I should say. Okay, stop. Okay, so I went to spring training in Arizona. I drove across America, which is a good 2,000 and something miles. It's a very long drive. You go through the deep south with the bayous and everything, to the prairie, to the deserts. We went through mountains that had snow on them, volcanoes, everything, and then back through the prairies and bayous and all that. So very long trip, and it was definitely worth it. I've been wanting to drive across America for the longest time. I had done it before, but I still wanted to do it again, and it is very tiring when you are driving like 15 hours a day, because when I had originally driven across America before, when I went to my first MLB game in Seattle, actually, we weren't driving days like that. It was like we were stopping and seeing things like, for example, we can say I was in St. Louis for 3 days, and then I drove to South Dakota to go to like Mount Rushmore and all that. So, but I stopped in Iowa and all, and I actually did stop in Kansas City, but then spend the night and saw where the Royals and Chiefs play and all that. So, it is a very long drive if you are driving from the East Coast, but I do think it was completely worth it. I mean, flying would probably be better. Obviously, I'm glad I didn't fly with all this coronavirus stuff happening. That voicemail started playing. Is somebody claiming to be the Social Security people? I know you're not. But okay, so we're going to talk about the games that I went to. So I was staying in Peoria, Arizona, and you will see all this in the vlogs. The vlogs will be coming out on Thursdays, so you can watch last week's, and then I will have a vlog out this Thursday that I think will actually be showing the game that I'm about to talk about in it. So the first game I went to were the Dodgers were taking on their rivals, the San Francisco Giants. Now, this was in Glendale, which everything in Arizona is all in the Phoenix Metro, when in the Grapefruit League, it's all over Florida. Like, you have things, I'm going to say stadiums are probably like 5 hours apart, maybe. Like, when in Phoenix, everything is in the Phoenix Metro. You could go to multiple games in a day. I mean, you could go to multiple games a day in Florida. You could go to one in Jupiter and then do one in West Palm. But you could probably see a ton of teams in a day in Arizona. Did I like Arizona better than Florida? I don't know. I did get to see my favorite team, but it's all very similar. I mean, Florida's just so much easier for me because it's like 2 states down, and they have all the same restaurants I eat at, the same kind of weather and all that, so it's basically home. When Arizona is so different, but Arizona is definitely very nice, but I don't have a favorite. I don't know which I prefer, especially when I've been going to Florida spring training for several years, and Arizona I've only been once, so I don't want to full on judge that. So the Dodgers, I got to see Clayton Kershaw pitch, and to me, he is the greatest pitcher of this generation, and I had never seen him pitch before, so it was super, super exciting getting to see him, and I am so happy that I finally got to see him, because pitching is very hard to see one of your favorite pitchers, because it's every 5 days kind of thing, so you never know buying tickets at the start of the season for a game like in July who is going to be pitching that game, so you never know. And obviously I bought these tickets literally months ago, so I had no idea who would be pitching, but it was Kershaw. So actually a funny tidbit at this game. So the seats, this is probably like every arena and every stadium that they have, like I was on row 10, so they have it on the left and the right and the stairs going down the middle, so I went to the one on the right by accident thinking that was my row. I actually found a baseball that was hit in batting practice under a seat. It's very stained and everything. You'll be able to see it in the vlog. And I'm just so happy to have found a baseball, because all of last season I didn't get one single baseball, and in this season I did. Now, it doesn't have the commemorative Arizona logo, which is kind of disappointing, but again, not that big of a deal because I'm just happy to have a baseball. So, because I've never been able to get one in spring training. The Yankees are really good about tossing balls up from the bullpen. bullpen coach, I guess. He is super nice and definitely does toss up balls, but I'm terrible at catching. So it was going to people beside me and all that. But he's really awesome. So totally check out the Yankees bullpen to get a ball. And then y'all know my story at the Braves spring training where I was in Brave stuff and their first base coach literally threw it to a kid in Blue Jays stuff. And I'm like, the Blue Jays aren't even playing. I'm in your team stuff and you're going to throw it to a Blue Jay fan? Like, okay. And those two teams don't even like each other. I get he threw it to a kid thinking I'm a girl and I probably don't like baseball. Dude, I love baseball. We had to get that ASMR in there. But okay, back to the game. So this was at Camelback. The Dodgers beat the San Francisco Giants 4-0. So Kershaw threw 43 pitches and 25 for strikes. So he allowed 2 hits. Had nothing to do. An interesting night for Clayton Kershaw had nothing to do with his 3 scoreless innings, in which he allowed 2 hits, struck out 4. Okay, was that just in those 3 innings? Because then it says 25 strikes. Oh, okay, no, I'm dumb. Okay. And walked none and threw 43 pitches and 25 strikes. So an interesting thing that happened in the game. So Justin Turner, I think we all know Justin Turner with the big orange beard and all that. Love JT. So he got hit by the pitch. And so then when the Giants come up to hit, Kershaw hits the Giants catcher with a pitch. And when Kershaw was walking off the mound, the Giants third base coach, Ron Weddis, got all in his face and was really mad. And the umpire, Tom Woodring, quickly stepped between the two and escorted Kershaw off the field. But yeah, the guy got upset with Kershaw for hitting the catcher, but literally, if the Giants don't hit their player, Dodgers need to hit their player back. So that's how baseball works in my eyes, and apparently in Kershaw's eyes as well. But yeah, so JT's next at bat, he hits kind of an FU home run. So that was really awesome to see. Everybody was super excited because it was a straight up missile, and it was a lot of fun. And so I really enjoyed that game. Now, I don't have the lineup here for y'all to tell you who all played. Hold on, I can click it right here. So, for the Giants, I can't see their full names. The center fielder, Mike, I cannot pronounce that last name. It starts with a Y. Had 2 hits. Then Hunter Pence had 1 hit, and I was super excited to see Hunter Pence. I know I'm a Dodger fan, but I really like Hunter Pence. So, then Joe McCarthy had a hit, and then Brantley had a hit. And it keeps scrolling back up, I'm sorry. And Sanchez had a hit. And then their starting pitcher was Quoto, and he had 2 innings pitched. He gave up 3 hits. He had 4 errors, 1 BB, 1 strikeout. So then the Dodgers, I don't remember who all the starters were, but I'm going to do the same thing I did for the Giants. So we had Max Muncy, had 2 runs, 1 hit, and 1 BB. Justin Turner had 2 RBIs, 1 run, and 1 hit. Santana had 2 hits. Seager had 1 run. Pollock had 1 hit and 2 RBIs. Kike had that's just 2 at bats. Okay. And then Lobaton had 1 hit. And then pitching, I told y'all about Kershaw's stats already. So that is the first game that I went to. So the second one, I stayed in Peoria, and I don't really have an in-depth thing like I did for the LA Times, so we're just gonna do this one rather quickly. So I went across the street to the Peoria field, and I saw the Padres take on the Mariners. So if you do not know, my first MLB game in 2012, my first MLB game ever was in Seattle, and they were taking on the Padres. So we purposely got these tickets like to kind of recreate that. I wore the same exact hat that I wore at that game. I wore the shirt that I got at my first game. Yeah, I was wearing a children's shirt. But okay, so we are going to go to the Padres batting first. So Grisham had 1 BB. Profar did as well. And Hosmer had 1 run, 1 hit, 1 BB. I was actually in the front row at this game too. That's the first time I've ever been in the front row before. So Brian Dozier had 1 hit and 1 BB. This guy's not showing his full name, but second baseman had 1 run. Garcia had 1 run, 1 hit, and 2 RBIs. And that's all. And then Lamet was their starting pitcher, and he pitched 3 innings, had 1 hit and 5 strikeouts. So going to my final game was back at Camelback, and it was the Mariners taking on the Dodgers. So this is from Fox Sports. So this is the first time ever I've seen the Dodgers lose. And so the winning pitcher was Fletcher, and the losing pitcher was Gudon. So we're going to go through the stats, because again, this isn't an article. I don't have a full article thing. For Seattle, Fraley had 2 runs, 2 hits, and 2 RBIs, and he struck out once. Cabrello had 1 run and 1 hit. White had 1 hit and 1 RBI. Marmojolis had 1 run, 1 hit, 1 RBI. Volbach had 1 BB and 2 strikeout. Snyder had 1 run. Torres had 1 strikeout. I guess this, I don't know, the stats are kind of weird on here. Lewis had 1 run, 1 hit, 4 RBIs. Rodriguez had 1 BB. Nola, he's really nice. I saw him signing a lot of autographs and all. He had 1 hit, 1 BB, and 1 strikeout. He is the catcher. So Crawford had 2 hits. Marsco had 1 hit. D. Gordon had 1 hit and 1 run, and I did clap for that because I love D. Gordon. Moore had 2 runs and 1 hit. So moving on to the Dodgers. Muncy, okay, he had 2 strikeouts. Turner had 1 hit. Pollock, no, those are all strikeouts. Okay, Seager had 2 runs and 2 hits. Lux had 1 hit. Will Smith had 1 run and 2 BB. Garcia had 1 hit, 2 RBI, and 1 BB. So, to wrap that all up, the Mariners won 9-3. The Mariners had 9 runs and 12 hits. The Dodgers had 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. So those were my spring training games. I have no idea when the next episode of this podcast is going to be out. It's whenever baseball comes back, because there's nothing to talk about when we're all in quarantine. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And again, if you want one of those t-shirts, just tweet me and I will be sure to set you up with one. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow, at least with a YouTube video. But when it's just my voice again, I have no idea. Stay safe out there.